Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. We're on episode 20 of Which for Mercury after what happened last time with Soletta's mom and all that destruction on Earth. I'm really curious what's going to be happening this time around. Hey, but before we get started, if you haven't, please subscribe, and if you think this is a cool video, give it a like. Check the links in the description for ways you can support the channel. Check out our Discord. We have a lot of fun there. We've been playing a lot of GBO2. That's been a lot of fun too, but yeah, let's dive in. All right, we're picking up from what happened last time, where it's almost like Mjolnir has been framed for this attack on Earth, because the plan was for her to go down there and try to have some sort of negotiation, peace talks, kind of talking about the use of the Gundams for, medical purposes, for saving lives. And yeah, the opposite happened. But what's also pretty interesting is, and I'm going to try to do less of my complaining, I'm going to kind of get that out of the way early, is, again, we're 20 episodes in, and there's been a lot of these moments being built up between characters, and we're just waiting for that payoff. This episode actually has it where characters are literally explaining things, but to the point to where now we're probably going to move past all that. And so, yeah, let's look at some of that. And so, again, continuing right from where we were, Guel is talking about how he's pretty much found out what Shadik's been up to, what the plan has been, and he's going to take action on it. And so the thing is, though, they bring up how they don't really have enough evidence to really expose him in that way. So they have to plan this out carefully. And there's Shadik ready to launch, to kind of, I guess, defend his plan in motion. Does that mean we're going to get some badass mobile suit battles? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. What's going on here? Not only do we have some nicely drawn Haro eyes, but what's interesting is that's an evil Haro. I'm just realizing this now, that there's this evil brainwashing, or sort of not necessarily brainwashing, but a Haro that kind of manipulates someone's thoughts or something in order to get them to speak the truth. I don't know. That's very interesting. Is this the first time we've really seen Haro as evil? And also, is Haro the only consistent drawn character throughout all Gundam, not only UC but AUs? That's kind of funny to think about. And so really this is setting up the characters to change their, I guess, strategy of moving next step with their lives, what their motivations are. And it's interesting because what this episode is doing is establishing that quickly, action, reaction, instead of, kind of going through different characters through multiple episodes. So this does a really good job of quickly establishing a next step. So this is a much more fast-paced episode. Oh, and here's this character that they show every so often with red hair. She's just in class studying. No, but the truth is, it's almost like Soletta's just using this as a way to sort of pretend what's going on is not happening, because really she's so lost. I mean, think about how she came to school with a certain intention, not having all this background baggage of her mom, Earthian versus Spacian. She was just happy to meet people, had a list to do all these things. Man, that world just came crashing down on her, which is very similar to all these other characters. Why bring a mobile suit off campus? It's to have badass mobile suit battles, that's why. So there's a lot of interesting dynamics here, because we're finding out, oh, this group is backing this group while also secretly backing this group. So we're having certain factions planted in the right spaces, either in space, Earth, or on the plant, in order to have these little skirmishes that are going on. And I got to say, throughout this, the music is incredible. Again, I was saying this is a fast-paced episode, and I don't mean that it's just constant action. There's a lot of action, but in terms of moving the story forward, of characters relaying information to other characters in order to change their minds, to move them forward, to move the world and the plot forward. But the background music that's going on is excellent music. Excellent. And again, sometimes there's going to be, I guess this is an example of kind of a reaction where there's not too much to talk about, because a lot of it is action where characters are really explaining the things we've been waiting for characters to come to realization of. But yeah, let's move on. All right, mobilizing some mobile suits. This is going to get awesome. And even down on the plant where the students are, and the students are like, God, do we go to school? Do we not? Okay, very interesting here, because one thing that I was waiting for a payoff for is what's with Elon and Noria? And they're like talking, they're just hanging out. Like, it's interesting how these characters will show up, but then we just see them hanging out a lot and not really doing much. But looking back, when they were showing her drawings, that was like one way, that was a way for us to understand what the character's going through. But then Elon's picking up, looking at it, wanting to chase her, and then I'm starting to get this feeling that there's some more feelings going on, more of an interesting sort of thoughts going through Elon's mind of how he feels about this character. And I'm like, okay, this could get interesting. All right, here's the gun vulvas. I love these designs, and in fact, I think sometimes in the episode it looks like they're just CGI models. A lot of times it just looks like that, like the animation, and I actually appreciate the way it looks, because it's almost like they're doing the CGI in a way to make it look consistent with the rest of the animation. And for the clean, slick look that these mobile suits have, where they don't have like that grounded military look we'd see from UC, I think it works here. So I gotta say, I do appreciate the scenes where it looks like they're using CGI to portray the more clean, slick look of mobile suits in this Ad Stella timeline. Okay, but yeah, using the Gundam, obviously she is getting that red permit crap going on that could kill her, and I think this is something that Elon didn't want her to go through, because it's starting to seem like, yeah, he has feelings for her. So anything could happen at this point, especially considering they're at the school. Like, she mad. Again, awesome. Look how great the shot of the gun vulva is. Like, I don't know what it is with this, but this is like a sick looking mobile suit. Definitely getting a model kit of this. Yeah, them just floating around all together, like, a whole squad. I like that idea. All right, yeah, and she's like literally blowing up important parts of the school, especially the demi-trainer, the mobile suits that they would use to fight back. All right, back to this redhead character that we've seen a little bit of. I guess now they're just trying to escape as there's another attack on the school, some more destruction. I think by now it's like you can't really sweep this under the rug, and as students, it's like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be at the school. And it's kind of this funny thing that seems to happen in Witch from Mercury, where like the characters are in these life or death situations, and then they're like planning out their future in specific details. Like, no, focus on staying alive. Again, another cool shot. I can't help but love the design of that Gundam. All right, back at Shadiq and Guel doing their duel. And the one who set up my dad. So it's like he's figuring these things out for sure. He had his gut feeling, no evidence. Here's like, those like Ace Pilot exposition battles, right? Where they're battling each other and then explaining their motives and story. So that we get confirmation on a lot of these things. Again, the music is epic here. Okay, and this is where Guel's brother hears that Guel killed his dad. And it will be interesting to see what direction he takes, because you would assume they're going to go through a period of an explanation of why it happened, that it was an accident. But it could be that this just sets up this character to be another bad guy, where he's just mad and not really trying to think logically about what happened. All right, I have some more mobile suits rolling out. So this is when certain factions within the school, but the lower ranking, is that a way to put it? The non-executive leader level types are realizing what's going on. They need to work together. Spacian, Earthian, doesn't matter. Another little sub-faction that has formed in order to survive. And then here is the MSJ R122 Demi Barding. So this is who they're calling Pom Pom, the mobile suit that she's going to use. And actually, that's a cool looking mobile suit. Yeah, so I'm down with this. See, look at that. Like, it's crazy, funny, or weird. This character's like smiling, like, yeah, we're all about to die, and I don't like you, but you can use this mobile suit to help us, right? What a weird character. And then this is where, like, again, like, it's gone so long with people not caring about Nika, and it's like, oh, but we need you to help get this mobile suit ready for battle. All right, and that Demi Barding out in battle. Again, I like the look of it. It almost has the reminiscent sort of mono eye, because it has that main sensor, but then it has, other sensors around it. And I like the tubing too. That kind of helps. It's more detail that gives it that grounded look. All right, back in space, some more shit talking between Guel and Shadiq as they're battling. And these mobile suits are getting destroyed. I mean, even Guel he purposely doesn't kill Shadiq. He wants to have him captured. I mean, Guel, again, is an awesome character. I mean, we all know that. But we're seeing these mobile suits get so destroyed that obviously when these characters are back, they're going to be in their newer versions, so can't wait to see those. The Assembly League wouldn't act just because of Earthian losses, so we're kind of seeing some more, I guess, of intent. Is that what I'm trying to get at here? Where it looks like that's where there's the privileged of the Spacian versus Earthian, and where authority will act and protect or not. And then back at the plant, that's really cool. Looking suit. I guess that shield is just pretty crazy, really. But this is that payoff that I did not expect and is a super awesome character growth that I actually wish continued, but then they just pretty much cut it off here. Elon is kind of, he's being a little more open and less of that sarcastic attitude that he has. It's almost like he's opening himself up to Noria as he, looking through the book of the drawings. It's as if he was learning more about her and he appreciated what he saw. He likes her, pretty much. And this was his attempt to go in there and save her, but in true Gundam fashion. Someone else far away just shoots the gun, kills her. He goes crazy. So, all those episodes of him hanging out, I was like, what are they building up to? What are they building up to? Even Noria just hanging out there. It's like, why is she, at the colony? And they're just going all these episodes. Again, they could have done that a little better, but I will say that this payoff is really cool because I do love how this turned out. This is a huge character moment. I mean, I was pulled in during this. In the imagery of the bracelet and then it burning up after her mobile suit gets destroyed, it's cool. It's really, it's impactful for the moment. For as many sort of interesting character dynamics that they show play out, I think this was the most well done, in my opinion. Again, it's hard to really just talk while showing battling, but if you love mobile suit battles, this episode had a lot of it. Okay, and then Soletta and other students in the school were caught in this battle that was going on. A lot of destruction. I'm sure there's been death, and we see someone that could potentially be dead. I guess this is the aftermath, so this is like after the end, where, there's just some more. It's weird how they do that sometimes. Post-credit, sometimes it's pre-credit, post-episode. I don't get it, but they're just kind of showing aftermath. That's a cool drawing right there. The Gunvolva, or that might not be a Gunvolva. No, I think that is. But it's really cool to see how it impacted the ground. They have that detail there. This is like one of the most detailed shots because this is probably a painting. It doesn't require a lot of animation. So I really like stuff like this. Like you can even see where the tubing is, that's where the arm would be. There's a lot of detail in that and texture that gives it that more grounded look. So when we see shots of these mobile suits where they don't have to animate them, to me, they look way more detailed in terms of the grounded mobile suit look. And then Soletta and a group of people, I like how Soletta's just immediately, let's see who we can save. Someone could be alive down here. So that's nice. And so that was it. And I got to say, I came into the episode kind of being like, another wish for Mercury. I mean, they're going to drag things. But this episode, without even showing Soletta's mom, without even showing much of Soletta, really, it was really about all the different dynamics that have been occurring between the motivations of people behind these certain groups coming together. Obviously, you have the ace battles where the pilots are explaining the plot to each other, which is fine in this because it's almost these revelations that move them forward. I think the Elon and Noria sequence was probably one of the best things I've seen in this show so far. I really think that was big development because both characters had their ways of wanting to move forward, their motivations, and both of them just got decimated in terms of what anyone thought the outcome would be. That's going to make for a very interesting next episode, especially because we didn't see much of Soletta's mom. We didn't see much of Murine, and those are pivotal factors here because we're talking about what's going on Earth. Could Earth be a front to a large-scale attack? Are they going to pad that out a bit before we get to that? I do like how, again, this episode took place directly after the previous one, and just it went through the world building in terms of the characters' progress through the world as it unfolds very quickly at a fast pace. That's more my type of thing. I don't like to kind of just sit around and wait, so I appreciate that. Anyway, let me know what you think below. again, I thought this was great, so let me know what you think, and we'll talk later.